So when people are working on their chest and building up their chest, this is something that will help a lot of you if you have shoulder injuries going on. Because what happens with a lot of shoulder injuries is that you get one right in the front of the shoulder, and it's typically related to your rotator cuff, either your subscap, specifically the tendon for it, which comes under your armpit and attaches right into your front of your shoulder, or it's the top of your rotator cuff, your supraspinatus. One of those two tendons is typically the ones that we see in my practice. Now, when this individual who has shoulder pain, or if you just simply want to get bigger, stronger chest and shoulders, what happens when they try to do shoulder work, like let's say any kind of variation of a bench press, is that as they're going through and they're trying to move their entire arms through, there's a lot of bias with their mechanics, typically leading with the elbow and moving their shoulders kind of in weird angles that creates a lot of pain and impingement in the front of the shoulder. And we want to get around that as much as possible. So what we look at doing, what I teach people to do, is that you have a shoulder injury and or you're trying to build up your chest, right? So we look at it as being a chest press. Okay, this is not a shoulder press, it's not a tricep press. So we're kind of looking for, when you're doing this exercise, this chest press that we're about to do together, are you feeling the fatigue in your pecs? Or are you feeling it in the front of your shoulder or in your elbows or your triceps, okay? We want to feel it in the pecs. So a little tip, or if you just simply want to be better at doing chest presses on the X3 bar, this is what I recommend. One, start off, just simply take your shoulders, imagine them, think about them, look at yourself in the mirror, and I want you to shrug them backwards. So when I'm doing this, I'm trying to think about stretching out my pecs as far as I possibly can. And then I'm going to think about shrugging my shoulders forward, as if I'm trying to like put my elbows, my arms together in the front, and I'm trying to squeeze my pecs together as tight as I possibly can, right? So I can do that. I can also go like up and down, back and forth. So here, if I take my arms up now, I'm going to just have a slight bend in my elbows, and I can do the exact same thing. Think about your arms, your wrist, your elbows, and technically your shoulders, all one solid lever. None of this stuff is moving. I'm thinking about just stretching up my pecs and then contracting my pecs. The angle, so if I was going like down, the angle at my elbow stays the same. I'm just simply stretching the pecs, contracting the pecs. So I'm not thinking about moving the entire arm through, overstretching some parts of my shoulder and possibly my rotator cuff. And this is going to help to divert a lot of the tension from the front of the shoulder onto the chest. So if I load up my body, my bar, so we're going to try doing this with the Generation 2 Elite Band. Right? So I'm thinking entirely about my pecs. That's the big mind shift here, the big belief shift, is that I don't want to be thinking about moving my arms or my shoulders. I want to think about stretching the pecs in the back and then contracting the pecs. It's all there. So you need to actually practice this, but this will help alleviate a lot of tension off of many people's shoulders. So from here, I'm thinking about starting off. I'm braced, I've got a tight belly, tight ass, I'm grounded in the floor. I'm on my knees right now for the sake of the camera work as constrictions at the moment, but I'm thinking about taking my shoulders back. I'm stretching out my pecs, and I'm going to press that out, get my elbows just short of locking out. Now here, my pecs are squeezing together as tight as I can. I'm going to keep my elbows at the same relative angle, and I'm trying to stretch them out and then contract them. So I'm not really thinking about going all the way back and forth. My elbows stay at the same angle, and I'm just thinking about stretching my pecs by pulling my shoulders back, shoulder blades together, and then I slam my shoulders forward, squeezing my pecs together as hard as I possibly can. Okay, does that kind of make sense? So if we do that, that's really helping a lot of people out with getting the tension into their pecs rather than them feeling it in the front of the shoulder. I want to feel that all there, and just from those few reps, I feel that lit up all through the pecs. All of this is still engaging and it's going to get worked. But if I don't have that intention and it's just the whole system's moving, what we find is that this tends to get biased. This is not the strongest part of this whole complex. This is, and your upper back is. So I want to be using that stuff as much as I possibly can. Just a tip, let me know how it works for you guys, and especially if you're struggling with some shoulder pain, especially right there, right in the front of your shoulder, let me know how long that's been going on and if you need some more help getting rid of that.